If you're wondering what to eat to start your day right on the Mediterranean diet, then you have come to the right place. In this video, I will be explaining to you what a perfect or typical breakfast should look like on the Mediterranean diet. If you're new here or if you've been here before, then welcome back. I'm Dr. Anna. I am a medical doctor. I was trained in Italy in the heart of the Mediterranean region, and I am dedicated to bringing you all of the information you need to get started on the Mediterranean diet because it is delicious and so healthy for you. All right, let's start by just taking a stab at breakfast. Now, there are some differing opinions on whether breakfast is essential in your day. I would say to listen to your body. Now, when it comes to children or let's say pregnant women, growth is really important. So I would argue it's probably not a good idea for people in those groups to skip meals. But for an adult who's finished growing, you have to know if you're one of those people that needs to eat breakfast or not. I'm really not able to tell you what to do. But if you're a breakfast eater, then you might want to know what kind of a breakfast you should eat on the Mediterranean diet that is best satisfying your body's needs. So breakfast is of course a way for us to jumpstart our metabolism, our energy, and set the day right. We want to eat a breakfast that is nutrient dense with lots of vitamins and minerals, but making sure that it is not too sugary or processed so that would cause us to have a crash in our energy midway through the morning. Of course, there is no better way to start the day than with a nutrient-packed breakfast that will fire up your energy to sustain you for many hours. So hear this. I need you to understand that when thinking about a healthy, balanced breakfast, and really any healthy, balanced meal, there are 3 things you want to make sure are included every time you have a meal and every time you have a breakfast. And what are those things? Fiber, healthy fat, protein. If you hit all 3 of these components, which I like to call the healthy trifecta, you are setting yourself up right with good nutrition to ease digestion. Now, why do we care about digestion? Well, digestion is obviously an important part of eating a meal and reaping the health benefits from it. Our bodies are meant to eat food, not just nutrients. The digestive process, which is the process that after you're chewing food goes to your stomach, it starts to get broken down and a lot of chemical reactions are happening, and then it starts moving further down the pipeline. But in order for your body to be able to extract the nutrition, so the vitamins, the minerals, and other really important properties of food like anti-inflammatory properties, there needs to be enough time. And what slows digestion down? Well, those 3 things that I just mentioned. It is fiber, healthy fat, and protein. All 3 of these things slow the digestion down so that our body has enough time to get all of the nutrition out of the food into the bloodstream and ultimately circulating our body so it can go to all the cells in our organs that need it so they can do their metabolism thing and our body can stay alive and healthy. By eliminating these components from a meal, but especially from breakfast, you are risking causing your blood sugar to spike pretty quickly. Now, that is obviously not healthy for our body in and of itself. Those of you who might have diabetes are probably quite aware of blood sugar and how that can cause problems in your body. But know this, even if you don't have diabetes, we don't want our blood sugar to spike really high and then crash, because that's going to tank our energy and we're not going to feel well. And that will lead us to feeling desperate, craving things, and probably not making the wisest decisions when it comes to what we're going to eat next. By the way, if you're finding this information useful so far, and I really hope that you are, please subscribe to this channel because I want you to keep getting all of this important nutrition information and helpful tips for how you can improve your diet and overall health. I don't want you to miss a beat. Okay, so that was a little bit of the philosophy of what we need to include in our meal, but maybe you're like me and you're like, Dr. Anna, I just want the practical information. Tell me the foods. Well, I really don't like telling people what to eat. It's not my preference, but I understand that some of you are craving that kind of information. So here's what I suggest. Start the day with plants. Plant-based foods. A lot of people tend to go for a sweet tasting food, so there's nothing that makes more sense than some whole fruit in its fresh form or even from frozen. Fruit is giving us some nice nutrition. Usually it's packed with vitamin C and fiber. Number 2, the next thing that you want to be eating in the morning are things like nuts or seeds. Nuts or seeds are super nutrient dense. They have all 3 of the things that I talked about earlier that you want in a healthy breakfast. they have fiber, they have healthy fats, and they have protein. That's why nuts and seeds are like nature's gift to us, because you have a food that packs in all three things at once. And you can choose if you want to eat nuts or seeds in their whole form, which are going to be kind of crunchy, or if you prefer, eat it as a nut butter. Peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter. You choose a variety you like, but all of them are going to be giving you that nice nutrition. Okay, so what's my third food for you? Well, it's some kind of a whole grain. Now, oats are a typical go-to in the morning, and they can be cooked in an oatmeal, so that's really nice in the colder weather when we want a hot meal in the morning. Some people also eat it in the muesli form, which are oats and some other nuts or seeds or dried fruit with some liquid component, kind of eating like a cereal. Or maybe you need that crunch and you want to make some granola at home. You can even substitute oats for having things like quinoa, which is really a pseudo grain. We call it a grain, but it's not quite a grain, and it's got a lot of protein in it. So whichever variety you prefer, I want you to think about incorporating some kind of a whole grain first thing in the morning. Now, you might want to bind all of these things together into a bowl form, a porridge if it's cooked down, or blended together in a smoothie. So consider something like a yogurt, a cottage cheese, or a ricotta. These are dairy sources that provide us a little bit more protein. If you're avoiding dairy, then try something else that is soy-based or any other nut-based milk. Now, as I mentioned, you can have this in a bowl form if you're going to be sitting down, but you might be a busy person. You might have to get in the car early in the morning. I can't recommend enough a smoothie. Smoothies are really convenient. You can take them on the go and you can pack in so much nutrition. All of the ingredients that I talked about before, fruit that's fresh or in frozen form, nuts or seeds or nut butters. You can have liquid protein-rich foods like yogurt. What's nice is you can also throw on some protein powder to really up the protein content, or even sneak in some vegetables like spinach. But here's a pro tip for you. I definitely suggest not blending your smoothies at the crack of dawn. Your neighbors are going to hate you. So if you're considering eating a smoothie for breakfast, but you have to leave the house early in the morning, try blending that smoothie the night before. Just don't forget to grab it from the fridge when you're running out the door. Believe me, it's worth it. Nobody wants to be woken up at 6 or 7 a.m. by the sound of a loud blender. All right. I have to ask all of you, what do you typically eat for breakfast? Comment below. I'd love to know what you are eating already. And if any of the things that I talked about are doable for you and you'd consider trying them, let me know. Share with our community, share with each other some of your ideas of how you can incorporate really healthy foods the first thing in the morning. If you're liking this video, I want you to hit that thumbs up button, like it, and share this video with somebody else who you think could benefit. Maybe it's a friend, a family member, or a neighbor. However, if you are totally convinced that you're ready to start eating the Mediterranean diet and you want a little bit more guidance, then you gotta check out my video over here where I am giving you helpful ways to get started on the Mediterranean diet right away, starting today. So check out that video. I'll see you over there. You don't wanna miss it.